Well, hey, everybody, this is Robert, and welcome to Outbreak News TV. And in today's show, I'm going to do an outbreak update. We're going to take a look at the latest on the Oropouche outbreak affecting parts of the Caribbean and South America. And this is the latest data coming from the Pan American Health Organization. And right now, there's 5 countries that have been reporting locally transmitted cases of Oropouche, and that includes Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Cuba, and Peru. And as of July 16, 2024, there's been 7,688 confirmed cases of Oropouche reported from these 5 countries. Brazil, of course, accounting for the vast majority with nearly 7,000 cases alone. Bolivia has had over 300 cases, and Peru's had over nearly 300 cases. Cuba with 74 and Colombia with 38. So this is much more than previous years. Now, Brazil, with the 6,976 confirmed cases of Oropouche, most of these cases detected had a probable site of infection in municipalities in the northern states. Now, this means the Amazon region, which is considered endemic for Oropouche. This accounts for about 8 out of 10 cases reported in the country. The states of Amazonas, Rondônia, and Acre account for the bulk of them. But in addition to the Amazonian states, locally transmitted transmission has been documented in 9 non-Amazonian states, some of which have never seen reported cases of Oropouche. These include Bahia, Espiritu Santo, Minas Gerais, and Rio de Janeiro. Now, some of the latest news coming out of the Oropouche outbreak is the investigation of some possible vertical transmission or mother-to-baby transmission of the virus. And this is what the Pan American Health Organization reported recently. They say Brazil officials informed the PAHO about the characterization of a presumed vertical transmission of Oropouche virus. A pregnant woman with no travel history, a resident of Rio Formoso municipality in Pernambuco state, which is in northeastern Brazil, presented with symptoms compatible with Oropouche on May 24th. These included fever, headache, epigastric pain during the 30th week of gestation. The patient reported a history of close contact with a positive case of Oropouche in the territory. On June 3rd, samples were collected from the pregnant woman, and the results indicated a reactive response for dengue and chikungunya. Additionally, serum and placental samples were tested with a positive result for Oropouche. On June 6, 2024, the case sought medical attention after noticing lack of fetal mobility at 30 weeks gestation. On that same day, the baby died. The fetus was sent to the death verification services for histopathological examination to investigate the presence of arbovirus. Fetal samples were sent to the Institute Evandro Chagas, and on the 4th of July, the detection of Oropouche virus genetic material in umbilical cord blood and organ tissue obtained from the fetus, including brain, liver, kidneys, lungs, heart, and spleen, was confirmed by real-time PCR, which is indicative of vertical transmission of the virus. The sample was negative for molecular detection of the other arboviruses, dengue, Zika, chikungunya, mayaro, etc. Further lab analysis, along with epidemiological, clinical, and pathological investigations, are underway. Then there was a subsequent communication where Brazil officials reported a second suspected case in a 33-year-old pregnant woman residing in Jaqueira, Pernambuco state with no history of travel. The patient presented symptoms on June 6 with a clinical picture characterized by fever, headache, skeletal pain, arthralgia, retroorbital pain, chills, photophobia, and taste alteration. Uterine hemorrhage was observed during the 6th week of pregnancy, with miscarriage on June 27th, in the 8th week of gestation. The pregnant woman's serum sample collected on 12 June was negative for molecular detection for dengue, chikungunya, Zika, mayaro, and detectable in PCR for orovirus or Oropouche virus, as well as reactive for dengue and IgM ELISA. It was not possible to collect samples from the fetus for investigation. So that's the important upcoming news, this investigation into the vertical transmission of Oropouche. And we'll be keeping a close eye on that and see if this becomes considered confirmed. The next thing I want to take a look at is just tell you a little bit about the virus and the disease itself. And Oropouche virus is the cause of Oropouche fever, and this is spread through the bites of infected midges, which are very small flies, about 1/16 of an inch, and also certain species of mosquitoes. Now, the symptoms of Oropouche fever are similar to dengue. There's a lot of overlap, and they include headache, fever, muscle ache, stiff joints, nausea, vomiting, chills, or sensitivity to light. Severe cases may result in neuroinvasive disease such as meningitis. Now, symptoms typically start 4 to 8 days after being bitten and last about 3 to 6 days. Most people recover without long-term effects. Treatment is supportive, and there's no vaccines available for prevention. And that's the latest on Oropouche outbreak down in the region of the Americas. Now, if you like this video or this podcast, subscribe to YouTube, Spotify, Apple, any of the podcast platforms you may be listening to. Like it, comment, and share it with your friends. And thanks for listening.